looking at it, how difficult is it to make a film?
Coming up with stories was very easy for me. It's just like I used to lie a lot as a kid. So coming up with a story here and there, that was not a problem. So okay.
From what I'm hearing is like you're a Swiss knife.
Because I did my first film, which is called Deadlines. It's on YouTube somewhere on our channel. Did that. I didn't post it for the first, I think, 3-4 months.
Okay.
Most things you don't learn at once.
Welcome to the Creative and Coins podcast, the podcast where we connect with creatives and talk about the creative economy. My guest today is Chol Jurkuch, an independent filmmaker. And I think he's actually a very pertinent guest for today because we know a lot of people are struggling in terms of creating content, and we have a lot of content creators coming up. But the biggest struggle has always been the economic side of it. So how do you create a film with the least amount of budget? So welcome, Chol.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just to start off the show, can you introduce yourself? Who is Chol?
Well, my name is Chol Jurkuch. I'm a South Sudanese filmmaker based in Kenya, specifically Nairobi. I do a short film, a range of films, short films. I've done one feature film that was purely independent. That is like the lowest of the budgets. Yeah, and we're gearing up for our next feature film very soon. Can't say much about it yet. Still in the early process of it.
So when we say independent filmmaking, could you just try and break it down for our audiences? Just unpack it.
Yeah.
What exactly is independent filmmaking?
So, just like the word independent means, it means you're doing it yourself. There's no big studio backing you up. There's no big investor. Maybe there's like one or two, which could be your parents or your family members, but you're basically doing it yourself. You're not depending on the big budgets, say from your mainstream studios, filmmaking studios. I don't know how many we have here, but we have so many of them.
Yeah.
Say it's just you and a few friends, or you and your few family members coming up with an idea for a film and doing it yourselves.
So how, like, looking at it, how difficult is it to make a film?
I think it depends. It depends on what kind of film you want to make. If you want to make a big film, well, it's going to be very, very difficult. But if you want to make something small, something self-contained, say a few characters here and there, one or two, mostly 2 or 3 is enough for you to make something small. That's manageable in a way, depending on what your story is. You know, if you start thinking about, going different locations all the time, then that may be a bit difficult for an independent filmmaker. But if you go low, say 2-3 characters in one location, that's usually the best. One location, most of there's this joke in the industry where you say it's a courtroom drama. In a courtroom, you just be in the courtroom the whole time. That's easier to make.
Yeah.
The difficult ones when you start involving a huge crew, huge cast. You need funding for this and that. That's when it becomes difficult. But if you focus on just what the story is, how to tell it, I don't think it'll matter much what everything else is. So long as you have good sound, visuals, maybe you can use your iPhone if you have one, or borrow one. But sound has to be good at least. If you're going to spend money on the sound. Everything else, just ask friends, borrow something here and there, and then get to making it. So I wouldn't say it depends on what kind you're making for it to be at least challenging or not challenging. Yeah.
So how did you, just walk us through your journey. How did you end up creating films?
Well, usually it's just like everyone else. It starts when you're younger. So when I was younger, I thought the actors make the films. The ones you see in the movie, jumping through windows with no cuts and all that. Then you grow up, you find
But I've
out.
actually seen you in one of your films.
Yeah,
You're also an actor.
I'm getting to that now. So the original idea was to become an actor. And then you grow up, you find that there's something called a director who actually directs the film. And then with that, you learn that there's a writer. and there's a producer, and there's all these people. So I thought, okay, where does it start? It starts with a story. Okay. Growing up, I knew coming up with stories was very easy for me. It's just like, used to lie a lot as a kid. So coming up with a story here and there, that was not a problem. So, okay, I can write. Now, what else? You need to direct the film and also star in it, which is what I wanted to be an actor in originally. So along the way, I learned these skills of directing and writing and also editing, which was, if for you to be a good director, you need also to be a writer. An editor for you to shoot for the edit. That's if you're going low budget, which is what we're going for. So that's where it started. So that's how I get to cast myself. Therefore, since I need myself to be in the films, and I'll always be there.
So you've mentioned a few things. So you've mentioned scripting, you've mentioned acting, and you also mentioned directing and all that.
Yeah.
So you actually do all these things in your film?
Yes, I have done it for most of my films most of my films, except for the feature film that we did. I had to partner with a friend called Kevin Dillon. We wrote the film together. It's called Unadulterated. So it's a mouthful for most people, so we're thinking of changing it to just, where is Pablo, since Pablo is the one being looked for in the film. So that was a partnership. We wrote that film together, and then we got to the production side of it, which is where I come in, the directing, acting, casting a few friends here and there. Yeah, I casted mostly people interested in film. You have these, say I'm on a set, someone else's set, a friend's set, and then I see the actors there, get to talk to them, ask if they're interested in film or making a film here. Would you be interested? They're like, yeah. So join them in, and that's how the cast was made. It's just people I knew along the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're going to come back to the casting.
Okay.
But I'm just very interested in this. From what I'm hearing is like you're a Swiss knife, sort of a creative, where you actually do a lot of things for one project. So looking at it, it requires a lot of skills. So how do you get to acquire some of these skills that you've just mentioned? How did you get to acquire them?
Well, start off by the University of YouTube, where most of us learn.
Of course.
Yeah. We were in school together as well. So we started off there. I did
yes, we were in animation school, isn't it?
Yes, animation. They teach film on the side as well.
Yes.
So I did my few months there, and then once I got the gist of, because all I wanted to learn when I went to school was how to use the software, the editing software.
Yes.
As soon as I got the grasp of that, I went on to the field and started doing myself. So once I learned that, I now was an editor, since I could use the software and cut the shots together. The next thing is now directing, which you grow up watching movies, you think you can direct, so you try it out. I could fortunately say that worked out for me, because I did my first film, which is called Deadlines. It's on YouTube somewhere on our channel. Did that. I didn't post it for the first, I think, 3-4 months, because your first thing, you're afraid of what people will say, criticize it here and there. But a day came, I just posted it, and it got positive reviews from the commenters, people watching it. A few friends called me and said that was a good film, so that gave me confidence. Okay, I can direct now. So now, since I was also in the film, I could say I could act as well. So 2 birds, 1 stone. So now I had 3 skills. The other skills, which is I do visual effects for most of your shows that you've seen, maybe on Showmax and Maisha Magic. That I started just small, little by little. Since in my films, I was like, okay, I want to do a film that does this. How do we make this effect? Look it up, learn it, and do just that one effect. Now you have that skill. The next time you make your film, how can I make this effect? You learn that effect, and just slowly by slowly, little by little, you get to learn all of these things. So I think that's the thing I'm interested in. And then the other things is you just learn them as you go. Okay. Most things you don't learn at once, since we've been in the same school, so you can say that.
Yeah. So just going back to casting, I've watched some of your films, and there's a lot of action sequences where people actually fighting karate.
Yeah.
I've even seen you fighting karate. So looking at that, how do you cast do you go to look for people who actually can fight first, or
I-
or is it choreographed? Do you just learn some moves and then you just do it on?
So in my first film, that was it. It was just like, what would look good on a camera? I don't know how to fight. I don't know the martial arts and all this, but I've seen a lot of movies to know, okay, this move looks good on screen. And that's how I started. Just me and a regular actress. We just found them. She'd never done any action before, but we choreographed it. Yeah.
Oh, she's never fought. It
No.
actually looks like a...
No. I'm
like a
talking about
fierce
my
fighter.
first film,
Okay.
which is Deadlines on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
She was just an actress, and someone recommended her to me. So we did rehearsals. We did choreography for at least, I think it was 2 weeks, but not like every day. It was like on the weekends since she was still in school. So we would meet on 2 weekends, learn the moves that I came up with out of nowhere, and then we got to shooting it. So that was...
So how long do you take to learn a move? Like, is it like dancing? Is it...
yeah, it's like dancing, which something as well which I'm not good at. But before my first short film, I was just having the idea in my head for months. So I knew it from beginning to end, which is what a good director should be. You should know your story from beginning to end. The things in the middle, if you ask the questions, you know how to answer it quick. So that's all I had. That's the advantage I had. And why many months? Because there was no coins for it, no money for it. So I had the time to develop it and think about it, the easiest way to do it. That's the cheat I had. But soon as I made my other next film, short films, I started to get to know people. So I got the ones you see in the films. Those are actually, they were dancers before, but then they turned into stunts people.
Okay.
So I got one. His name is Jack. I got him, and then he got me the rest of the people since he knew more. And that's when we got to like meet with more action stunts people. Yeah, so now since they know how to fight, then you know, if I put myself in the middle there, I still look like I know how to fight. Since I can edit it to make it look like I can. But I don't do stunts. I just choreograph them. Maybe, what do you call this? The stunts coordinates. Yeah, I coordinate them on what would look good on camera, because that's what we're working with. We're not working with like a stage play, which is different from a film, since a camera will have to capture something well for it to be visually pleasing. Yeah, so now I have stunts people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going to that conversation, because this is an independent film and you probably are not really expecting big bucks from it.
Yes.
So how do you convince your friends to come and join in?
Like I said, I don't convince them. I just ask them, are you interested?
Yeah.
And they're usually so interested because of I think it's because I've done something before to show them, and they're interested. But some of them are just like interested right straight away, because that's like their dream, what they want to become. So any actress and actor I've worked with is because they really, really want to be in the film, not because I had to convince them to do something. Maybe the big stars I could try and convince them. We have Blessing in our feature film, the unadulterated one, where Pablo will change it soon. We met on the set of Igiza, which was shot in, I think, 2022. And he had seen my short films before. So he texted me, called me. We had talked for like a few weeks on set of Igiza. He didn't recognize me until he went to his friends, and then he remembered seeing it, and then this friend was like, we're going to shoot this kind of like how Chol does it. And I was like, Chol, the same one on the set that we are on. And then he got to see the first feature film, the one he's into, the one he likes, Deadlines. He called, I think it's Teleport.
Yes. I've seen Teleport.
He called me and texted me, say, hey, you're the same guy in this film, and we keep meeting on set. I did not know. So he was interested in my next project, which is why we got him. He's like the biggest star we had in the feature film.
Wow.
So him still, just like I said, I didn't convince anyone. It's just, you're interested? Okay, let's get to work.
All right, so for the economic part of doing this, so because of course you're not doing this just for fun. Of course, even your actors are expecting something out of it.
Yes.
So how do you go ahead and make money per se from these films?
So there's ways to make money, which I still haven't made much yet. But there's we have YouTube now. We have so many platforms to put your content on to.
Yes.
You have your YouTube, your TikToks, Instagram, Facebook, all of these things that were not there for the previous generation, the pioneers. So we could say we have an advantage now to at least get something done. But for today, what I've seen in the market for independent filmmakers or independent content creators, the Instagram people, Instagram influencers, all this, is to build your audience, have as many people, many eyeballs to your content, and then there you can have a bargaining power to go to, brands, be like, hey, I have all these millions of people watching. You could sponsor the next project I'm making, and in return you get your advertisement through my content. I think that's like what I can come up with in terms of making
brand
money
endorsements.
from it. Yeah, brand endorsements. That's where you can make at least something from it. But as for me, the goal was not that originally. So trying to get into it just little by little now. The goal was to make the best films you can make. If you make something good, people will see it, and then everything else may fall into place.
And in your films, is there a message that you perhaps want to communicate?
I've gone to a few companies to ask for funding and all this, but they keep asking me, what is the message of your film?
Yes.
Like, I have no message. I'm just here to entertain you.
Entertain.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not here to teach you how to live your life or what you should do, give to charity and all this, which is, that's their business plan. So I can't just come in and be rude and be like, you have to switch it now for me. If that's what they do, you just leave them as that. But usually, I could say the only message I could give is just, if it's what you love, you just keep doing it. Something will open up.
Okay.
But do it strategically, not just like blindly. Have a goal, have a plan with it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at South Sudan currently is rebuilding, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah.
So what are your plans in terms of building the film industry in that part of the world?
Last year I visited at least twice and stayed. The second time I went, I stayed almost 3 weeks, just doing my own kind of research. Still thinking the independent goal, visiting brands, talking to them here and there. We got a few who are interested in this kind of thing, since it's not a big thing over there, like here in Nairobi, especially Nairobi. Let's not say Kenya, because I've called a few filmmakers in other parts of Kenya. They're not that big on it, just like Nairobi is. So it's a different thing. So in South Sudan, yes, it's an open field for anyone to go start your business. Just that you're not sure if it'll go up, since, the developments that we have here in Nairobi, most of them are not over there. So it would be difficult, which is it discourages people to go start something there. But since I'm from there, I can at least commit some time to go start something from there. So I've been thinking of that recently, and I think, yeah, I will very soon go start something from there, at least because I know there's interest in these kinds of things. Entertainment. I've seen. I saw a billboard back in Juba that had the film. It was a film festival. I think it was German funded, things like that. So yeah, those kinds of things happen over there. So at least I was like, go ahead, I can try it.
So if you look at the film industry right now in Kenya,
Yeah.
How do you think it is? Do you feel like independent filmmakers are doing as much as they should, or there's still need for more independent stuff?
I think there's need to like get out of the corporate side of it, because now once you start thinking about the corporate side of it, of what will I get in return, I don't have this and this for me to start this. Once you start getting into that headspace, I think you'll get crippled. You just keep you from doing it, because you now start thinking, okay, I must get this first for me to do this. So once you get out of the corporate side of it as an independent filmmaker, or just any filmmaker, just do it to do it. Make sure you do the best thing you can. Just if you focus on that, I'm sure something big may come out soon. Because most of the people I've talked to, it's what do I get in return? How can I benefit from? Someone straight up told me, how can I benefit from this? Which, it's their right. It's their livelihood. So you can't I can't just come in and say, just do like I did. Just don't focus on the money, but they have bills to pay and all this. But I think if you try, at least put some time into just doing it to do it, do the best thing you can with it. I think it would be best for most filmmakers, especially independent filmmakers. Stop thinking about the money and all this. Get your day job here, but on the weekends do this film.
And of course, for you, you've already started seeing the fruits. You said you've already won an award.
Yeah, we won a Kalasha in 2021 for Teleport 1, and then Teleport 2 got nominated for Best Actress and Actor for Jack and Davila. Yeah.
And so you actually did make money out of it, isn't it?
We got something from it. Yes, they give you something on the side. They give you gifts, and then they give you monetary. They give you money on the side. Yeah.
What about future projects? What are you looking at right now?
Right now we're looking to do a feature film. Just like I said, we're still in the early stages, but all the cast that I worked with before, they're all ready to get back to work. I've talked to them. I usually just ask them first because I can see them on other shows. We have Perpetual on Zari. We have Cash Money, which has one of the actors who worked it. That's Ronnie. Yeah, it's going around TV interviews right now. You'll see him somewhere.
And these are like some of the fruits of actually doing independent filmmaking.
Yes,
because it showcases your talent, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you're an actor, you showcase. You can actually put out a reel.
Yeah, I mean,
get called for jobs.
Yeah, if an independent filmmaker calls you in, yes, you can be cautious, be like, okay, what kind of film is this? Because you're working on your brand as well. But if you get called for these independent films, just go do it as an actor. Go do it because that builds on your reels. It doesn't matter how big the project is or how small it is. It's your acting that will matter. So if you're called, just go do it, put it on your reel, because someone else may see it and like what they saw in this small independent film they saw in you and get to hire you. Yeah, so I would say for an actor, just if you're called for independent film, just go for it.
So how long does it take for you to finish a project?
Since I get to do most of the things, like you say, the Swiss Army. If I come up with the idea, personally, that means I already know where to shoot it, how to edit it, and know all of these things. So for Teleport, let's use an example for Teleport 1 and 2. Teleport 1 took a day. We started in the morning from
a whole day.
Yeah, we started in the morning from like 10 a.m. Finished at 5 p.m. Just shooting constantly, no pauses.
So how long was the final product?
Like how long it took?
How long was
the film?
The film.
The film is like 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes.
Yes.
So a 10 minutes film took you the whole day to shoot.
It took us a whole day to shoot, but then you get to editing, you get to sound design, sound effects, music, and then the colors come in after. I used to do everything myself before. But now, since I'm starting to get to meet more people, and they want the opportunity to do something like the sound design and color grades, I get to give it out. I just finish the editing first and send it out for them to do the rest. So that takes longer if you have a bigger crew, other people to pass through. It takes longer than I would want it, but that's just how it's done. And right now we're building ourselves, so we have to get other people as well.
So in terms of shooting, which was your longest? Like the one that you took a lot of time to shoot?
I think it's a feature film, Unadulterated, by Is Pablo. That took, let's say, 25 to 30 days to shoot. 25 to 30 days, maybe. Yeah, at an interval of 2 months.
And this is, everyone comes on set every day?
No, not everyone. I got to divide it into ways where all of your scenes will be shot on this day, on 1 day or 2 days, depending on how long it is. So we'll finish up with you first. Finish up with you, go to the next actress, and then since some actors and actresses were intertwining their scenes were coming together, we get to plan strategically where we can have the fewest days of shoot and get the most of what we need on that day. So not everyone all on set. It's usually mostly just the crew on set with the actors that are needed for that day or for that scene. So it's not everyone on set. It's not ideal. It's not how it's done anyways.
It actually sounds a lot like it's very resource intensive.
Yes, it's very resource intensive if you're independent. Even if you're not independent, it's resource intensive, but you have
Because you have to feed these people. You have
Yes.
to make sure that they are there on time.
you have to bring them on set. Some you have to get Ubers because they come from far away, but they still want to be in this film. So it's for you to just do the duty of getting them to set.
So it's actually safer, like what you're saying, it's actually safer if you have one location or a primary location where you
Yes,
just
where
film.
everyone can just always be coming to that location. But if you need to
If
go
you
to
have
a
multiple locations, then it becomes more.
Yes,
it
because you have to
becomes
move
more
all
expensive.
of these people all the time. But if you're independent, if you have multiple, at least if you're independent, don't go for so many scenes. Just go for a few, 2, 3, that's enough. Get us out of this one location, take us to the next. At least let's see something different. Plus, shooting outside is free these days now.
Yeah, of course. On
Photographers
Sunday
everywhere.
in Nairobi, CBD,
It's the young people there.
Yeah.
So find your location, which is what we did for our feature film. We found Sundays where it was open. We shot the scenes that are needed for outside shots, the exteriors. So just do that. Just go shoot your exterior shots, shoot your outside scenes, bring them together, the editing, and you have something. So at least we are more privileged now than those who are beginning in the early days. Yeah.
Okay. So as we wind up,
Yes.
what message do you have for there's someone out there that feels that they actually have they want to be in a film, probably they want to act, they probably feel like they have the ability to direct,
Yeah.
to create content. What advice would you give them?
I would say get on your social media, not to spend time there, but to look for these opportunities. Since we have like the Actors Club on Instagram, it always posts about new casting roles, casting this and that. Get into those casting rooms. Even if you don't get picked, you'll get to know what they're looking for, so that you can tailor your next audition to what they need. So just keep going to your auditions. As for a filmmaker, there is no audition for you. Get your camera, get your phone, get whatever it is, and start shooting something. Even if it's 2 minutes, that is content, that is film. You're a filmmaker now. So just get to doing it. Don't wait for anything or anyone. Everyone has a phone now, a smartphone with a camera. Go shoot something with it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chol.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and with that, that's the end of the podcast.